whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I thought you were listening to what I was saying, but no, I was saying generally, it doesn't make any sense for you to want people who are more influential to be assassinated, like yourself. Even
I didn't say that they should.
No. You insinuated that because you're irrelevant, you should just be able to say all of these nasty things.
No,
but
it
becomes a problem when you're influential and you say nasty things. Then assassination is justified.
I believe that Charlie Kirk, like many others like him, I think he's one of the best of that generation for what he did. But I do think that he was a pipeline for alt-writers. I believe that he created, with the rhetoric, again, you can mock, ridicule, make fun of the unaliving of these types of people and still not think that the way they were taken was justified, right? And the complicity is, like, if people are going to send it to me, fine. I ask for a standard to come up on somebody's live that I don't. No, he has a huge following, whereas Guy has a smaller one. If that's your standard, okay, whatever. What I'm saying is, because of the things that Charlie Kirk was saying to members of my community, whether he thought they were good people or not, I don't necessarily even believe that he believed everything he said. I think that he was very clearly wanting to be a Rush Limbaugh type figure. He wanted to be the #1 right-wing podcaster, YouTuber, whatever. Sure, but there are consequences socially. You're allowed to say whatever it is you want. It's a free country, like you.
Should those consequences ever exist, though? Should they ever happen?
Being unalive?
Good. Yeah.
No, there's no justification. There's no.
Then why mock it? Then why mock it? Why amplify it?
Why? Because this lets people know on that side, because they're not used to political violence being perpetrated against them, that they're not they're not bulletproof. They're not there, and it doesn't mean it's justified.
Hold on.
Yeah, let me
get this right. No, I want to clarify something. So you want people
when he was
Charlie Kirk to be mocked after they die, so people on the right. Hold on. I'm not even done answering my question.
Let him finish the question.
So you want people on the right to have someone like Charlie Kirk be assassinated and then mock afterwards. Hold on, no. Assassinated regardless and mocked.
Yes,
you want them to be mocked. Hold on. You want them to be mocked. You want people to be mocked. They get politically assassinated just so what? You can teach people on the right that the people on their side are flesh and bones like every other human being. We already know that.
No, it's more.
This alone already proved that.
We
need you to mock people to prove that.
No.
What are you talking about?
This is the standard. If you were mocking, if you were making memes or liking or commenting or engaging in things such as Charlie Kirk did when he did say, if somebody can, the person who DM'd me, if you can send it to me again, liking comments that say 5 years. I mean, on the right. Every year, nonstop, the most memed person on the internet since 2020, outside of Donald Trump, has been.
That's fine. I never memed George Floyd one time. Yeah, I never thought the memes were funny.
Okay, so if you can meme him,
and by the way, they're not equal.
Even if you think he's a horrible, disgusting person.
And by the way, they're not equal.
Excuse me.
And by the way, they're not equal.
Even if you think
George Floyd wasn't a political commentator. He was a man that beat a pregnant woman. He was a man that was on fentanyl while trying to purchase items in a store with a counterfeit $20 bill. They're not equal people.
At the time of his unaliving, he wasn't being.
They're not even equal people. They're not. They don't even both. They're not even both under the same standard. They're not both political commentators.
The fact that it was a bullet, if that's the standard you're using, the fact that it was a bullet.
No, I'm not saying it was because of a bullet. I'm saying. I don't condone any mocking of George Floyd. Yeah, let me clarify this for you. I don't condone any mocking of George Floyd, but you're trying to equivocate him to Charlie Kirk.
I want to respond. Please, give me the.
They're not equal. You do realize that, right? One was a wannabe porn star who was on fentanyl, who beat a pregnant woman up, who had a bunch of convictions, and the other one was a person who was a strong and large political commentator.
Nobody knew that. You're a liar. At the time he beat up a pregnant woman, the man standing on his neck for almost 9 minutes didn't know that.
That's not the point. They're not equal people.
So the point is the horrific, disgusting things that Charlie Kirk engaged in online.
By the way, Nana, you're really in for it if you believe he's alt-right. If you believe Charlie Kirk is alt-right, you haven't seen enough.
I think people like him influence others.
You haven't seen enough.
Hateful beliefs.
If you believe Charlie Kirk is alt-right,
I'm well aware of the Nick Fuentes and the Groypers.
You're in for a lot.
I know all about
if
them.
you believe Charlie Kirk is
about
alt-right.
The race realists who you support.
You're in for it. You're in for it, Nana. if you believe that he was all right. I'm just letting you know that.
The guys that go interview black people on the street about their racial preferences and about 1350, I'm well aware of that. I don't think Charlie Kirk was the worst. I don't think that Charlie Kirk was the worst of the worst. What I'm saying,
he was nowhere near. He was center right.
He was on the right. He was not center right. What person in the center would say that we should no longer have Martin Luther King was a bad wasn't as influential as he was in the 20th century?
Yes, but what's really funny, sure, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. That isn't just coming from people like Charlie Kirk. Even Malcolm X.
Can you tell him to give me
No, you just
and you never say anything about that.
Sure, fine. I'll just talk over him when he does it. Fine. We'll do it like that.
You asked him a question. You said who would do that, and you have to let him answer the question.
It was a rhetorical. Let me say this.
Right, doesn't want to answer.
So again, yeah, whatever. You can respond in a second. If your argument, right, is that we should be like Martin Luther King because he said we should judge people by their contact of their character, and the right wing, like Ron DeSantis and all of these right wingers, weaponize his words when they want to get rid of things like DEI and affirmative action, then I can also wonder why someone like Charlie Kirk on the right wing would say that Martin Luther King was a race hustler. He literally said that Martin Luther King, well, which one is it? He said that Martin Luther King proliferated racist agenda.
You're comparing Charlie with Ron DeSantis.
He literally, I'm sorry?
You're comparing Charlie with Ron DeSantis. They're two totally different people. Ron DeSantis can say that Charlie...
Like she's all over the place right now. Then
stay consistent. I'm talking about the right wing at large. What is it? And then we can
the right wing at large. Okay, let me make something simple. Let me respond to you.
Let me respond to you. And I'll explain why.
Let me respond to you.
Let me respond. You went off for a while. Let him respond to it.
Right. Let me just respond to it. So
I'm gonna give you 35 seconds.
You're gonna give him whatever he needs.
Exactly. Like
and then give me
anyway. Like this is why I call you an animal. Okay. Now this is the thing. Everybody. See, there you go. There you go.
No. Listen, I don't want to start muting people, but stop. Let him respond.
She just can't take it. She can't handle the heat. So this is the thing. Everyone had criticisms of Martin Luther King. Many black people actually recently, ever since Donald Trump released the rest of the files, have been criticizing him, have been saying he wasn't really the family man we thought he was.
So
many people. So let me please finish. Let me finish. And many people were like, well, I actually adhere more to Malcolm X. Now, do I agree with that? No. I don't think that's necessarily really relevant. I think Martin Luther King was a lot better than Malcolm X.
Was Martin Luther King a good man?
Please finish.
Let him respond.
Animal, let me finish.
Okay.
Now the thing is, I don't know where you're going. Why you're going on to Ron DeSantis? Okay, relax. Now I don't know why you're going on to Ron DeSantis and skipping, and you try to compare someone like George Floyd and the memes on George Floyd to Charlie Kirk
or Breonna Taylor or any other black man or Trayvon Martin.
Oh my goodness, dude! They're not even.
Let him finish.
They're not even equal people. Charlie Kirk was a prominent political commentator that uplifted Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, and has done so much, got over 300,000 people registered to vote in Arizona alone and accomplished so much in general and was so influential and did so many more things and met with so many people on the right who were in government and so much. And George Floyd was basically nothing but a hooligan who was like a wannabe porn star, did that for a bit, got convicted for, beating up a pregnant woman, was on fentanyl while he was trying to purchase items in a store while he had a $20 counterfeit bill, and you're trying to act as if they're equivocal. But regardless,
they don't have to be equivocal. Why are you allowed to mock him but we can't mark Charlie? I don't get it. Why are you allowed to mock him but I can't mark him?
Real quick, has Matt ever mocked?
Let's go back. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Has Matt ever mocked?
No. Why is the right? When I said why are you? I'm talking about the right. Why is
you're speaking to me?
Why is the right? Okay, let me.
Wait a minute. Nana.
Why is the right wing?
Hold on. You're saying you will mock Charlie Kirk's dad. You're not saying the left will, but I won't.
Yeah, and the left
mocked him, so it doesn't make sense.
Let me clarify.
You're forgetting something strong. You're forgetting something deep here. Notice how I'm going after you because you're saying you're going to mock him in the future.
Yes,
I'm not going after the left. I'm talking to you right now.
When you minimize. No, we're
not minimizing.
When you minimize George, because you didn't like who George Floyd was as a person, mind you, nobody knew.
No, it's not that I didn't like him.
You thought he was a bad person, which you're entitled to. I don't think.
Hold on. Do you think the same thing?
I don't think he was a good person either, but I don't think that he.
Okay, great.
I don't think he deserved to lose lose the life the way that he did. And the fact that the right wing is something that Charlie Kirk supported, something that he engaged in when he was mocking his, I mean, you can say what you want.
Charlie Kirk never mocked his death. Charlie Kirk had critiques around his death. Those are two different things.
Of George Floyd was a political act. Just because he wasn't a political leader, the murder, his murder was a political
never ever mocked anybody's death. By the way,
so to say that there is no
you want to do
is idiotic.
Okay, all right.
You can mock if you're allowed to mock someone, and every year at the anniversary of
you're
his
allowed
death,
to.
If you're allowed to, and say, oh,
you're allowed to do anything right now. You're allowed to shit outside. It's a question of should you.
5 years sober of fentanyl. I'm allowed to say every September 10th, remember the 10th of September, and post memes about Charlie Kirk. That's what I'm saying to you. Yes, really.
Okay, so hold on.
Understanding this.
Hold on.
What is going to happen, as you can see by the hundreds of thousands,
that's really a
if not
weird thing to say, by the way, but okay.
Who are
So
mocking
many
Charlie
people,
Kirk. Many people
can have genuine critiques. Many people can have genuine critiques around.
Let him respond.
Sure. Many people can have genuine critiques about the death of George Floyd. Like, for example, he was on fentanyl at the time. Like, for example, while he was in the back of the police car, he was saying he couldn't breathe. While he was in the back of the police car, which is the only reason why they had to bring him out. Okay?
The medical examiner
so many people,
said that
hold
what
on,
led to his death.
Stop.
Two independent medical examiners said that.
Man.
No, this is a back and forth.
Many people can have genuine, see, there you go. Many people can have genuine critiques about the deaths of people. That's still not mocking them. And by the way, it's about genuine belief. Okay, you can think that he actually knew how he died and he decided to say that in terms of mocking, but I genuinely believe people like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, that's their genuine belief in terms of that perspective on the case of his death. But he never once mocked him. He never once made fun of them. He gave objective analysis of what he was. And now you're saying, oh yeah, every September 10th now we should mock Charlie Kirk's death because we didn't agree with his values and views. And again, the fact that you're going after center-right people like this, what do you think is going to happen? That's fine. He's right. Whatever. Yeah. Right. If that works. Hold on. Do you actually think he's alt-right?
No, not alt-right. I don't think he's alt-right.
Okay, then why did you? I think there's a distinction. You try to equivocate with alt-right earlier.
The fact that you think he's center is ridiculous. He's not a center. And
you do understand things are only going to get worse from here, right, Nana? Things only get worse from this death.
Yeah,
there's nothing to celebrate.
And the irony of the situation is the person who unalived him is a white man, and so it's white on white crime. He was in the middle. The last sentence was gang violence, and it was a white man who took his life. I'm allowed to find the irony.
And he also understands that gang members are killing gang members. He also understands that perspective. You think you're going to virtue signal? And again, we're not even talking about the race of the person who killed him.
You want to virtue signal to me because you thought he was a good man. I thought Charlie Kirk was a bad man. I thought he was a bad person. I thought the way in which he engaged in the world, I think that he is he's not as bad as a Nick Fuentes. Excuse me. He's not as bad as a Nick Fuentes. He's not as bad as a Richard.
You can think he's awful. I think he was a great man that deserves multiple different statues across multiple different states.
White men and some minority men into far right ideology. I believe he's not even the beginning. If there's
he was the only thing from keeping a lot of the youth from being far right.
If there's a stage of 1 to 10.
You do understand? Hold on, no.
If there's a stage of 1 to 10 in radicalization to the
real quick. I want this conversation go somewhere. So right now you're just kind of going back and forth. But Matt asked a question, so let's get an answer from you. Right? He said, and he's right, that by taking out Charlie Kirk, you're going to go from what you just said. He's not alt-right or far-right. People are going to now stop listening to him, right? And people are going to stop listening to him literally now. And they're going to start listening to the Nick Fuentes, et cetera.
Right.
Can you respond real quick without yelling? Can you respond to that?
Yes. I reject this notion that because he's gone now, that means that the...
I don't know who muted her.
I don't know. Did you? You guys, don't mute her.
Guys, just let Nick handle it.
The overlap between those who are listening to Charlie Kirk and those who are listening to Nick Fuentes, I know they have completely different views on Israel, but there is a lot of there's a lot of people like how I really like secular talk and breaking points, and then the Majority Report. They are on a scale of the leftist sphere. You can like Charlie Kirk and also like Nick Fuentes. This idea that because of this unaliving, we're going to see a huge surge in people flocking to Nick Fuentes. Those people were already.
Do you know how much Nick Fuentes' live last night got? Do you know how many views it got?
He was already extremely popular. I'm not.
No. He would get tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Hold on, answer my question. Wait, answer my question. He usually gets tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of views. Do you know how many he got last night?
Is it over 1 million?
1.3 million.
Okay, I'm not surprised. Yeah,
crazy. By the way,
no one's going to start listening to him. The statistics.
And let me get my response in. on that. No.
I didn't say that no one was going to listen.
Listen, Nick. No, you're totally right. But hold on. Like genuinely though, I don't think you understand. If I was a leftist, if I was like a liberal right now,
but it's not the leftist.
I would be. If I can just please finish. I would be really upset if I was on your side that Charlie Kirk died, because the thing is a lot of the youth has become more anti-Israel. Me and Nick Mattel also understand this.
I'm anti-Israel.
Charlie Kirk was see.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk, because I genuinely let you finish. Okay. Charlie Kirk was one of the only people that would be on those college campuses that are still on the political right, that would defend Israel, that would stand up for Israel, that would go to Israel, that would still keep people from being on the Nick Fuentes side of things. You took that guy out, which means that a lot of the youth, because again, they already understood that Groypers was moving. Like Turning Point understood that Groypers was already becoming influential. Now that there's
Point is one of the reasons that
now that Charlie Kirk,
are you not getting it?
See, there you go again, being an animal.
Let him finish.
Okay,
now that
so
Charlie
is
Kirk,
the person that you like.
Fucking hell, man. Now that Charlie Kirk is no longer there, yes, a lot of people are going to start listening to Nick Fuentes.
Okay.
Now, I don't genuinely think Nick Fuentes will ever go on to accomplish anything, but yeah, a lot more people are going to be swayed by him and listening to him. And by the way, if you believe, Charlie Kirk is this evil man.
Yes, I do.
And he has that influence. Now all of that influence is going to go to someone that is like 10, 20 million times worse than him. Okay, so your side, I know your side doesn't realize it yet, because you guys are never known for being smart.
It was a white man.
But again, that doesn't matter. It's not about race. It's about.
But you talk about race all the time. You perpetrate race. You talk about race.
The issue is that your side took a very big loss now, because much of the youth is now going to lean far right.
Can I respond now?
All right. So Matt made a point, and
watch me be silent. Watch me be silent.
You can respond, but I just want to make one point real quick, because you keep saying, well, it was a white man. Listen, no one on the conservative side is confused by the fact that a lot of liberals and leftists are white. Trust me, we get it. A lot of them are. So no one.
We don't know his political affiliation yet. Let's wait. I know you're already making assumptions, but
it doesn't matter if he is or isn't. It's I said this earlier to the other line.
Why I don't buy that?
Action. No one on the right is laughing at Charlie Kirk or mocking him. It's the left that's doing it.
Yeah, Nick. But they mock victims of police brutality. They mock people when they're being deported. They mock. So why would I? What aren't you understanding about that, Nick? I don't get it.
I'll tell you why.
Why are you guys allowed to mock people, but we're not?
I will say, but I'll say why. Because people still are individuals. I am on the right, and you were praising me earlier about someone else. I don't remember his name. That was saying very far right racist things, and I was like, "You're wrong, dude." Even though we probably
who Matt likes though, they're friends. They're friends.
I don't even know who the hell that is. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's not my friend. I have no idea who he is.
I said Matt and Joel.
I don't know what Duel said, but I mean, I don't know. Probably was
whatever. Listen, there's some things that Duel might say that. One sec, there might be some things Duel say that I'm like 100% agree with that. I just called him on the very nuanced thing that he said, and I didn't agree, and that's fine. He even said, "Nick, you have a different opinion. Fine, we're good." Right? But the point is when you say the right, you're talking to Matt right now, who has never shared that meme of George Floyd. He says he doesn't agree with that. Yet he's not saying you because the left does it. He's saying you because you personally said you will do it.
But okay, because he didn't share the meme, he basically insinuated and justified what happened to him, because he still insult. You cannot like George Floyd, which is fine.
That's different than mocking.
Is it?
Okay, can we make something clear here? Hold on. For this discussion, can we make something clear? Can we make something clear?
My train of thought. Please.
Stop trying to just generalize and talk to me one-on-one, because what you're failing to understand is I already said that I never reposted or posted or any of the things about George Floyd or anyone who died.
But the person that you're
violence. Hold on. And by the way, Charlie never did that either. He had critiques about his death, but he never did that either. Hold on and relax. Relax.
With
but again, there's a difference, because there's a difference. Okay, holy crap, dude. There's a difference
when you try to speak over him, we can't actually hear you because it's just jumbled mess. Let him finish.
I never even got to make my point.
Here he goes.
Matt,
you're an animal.
Take 15 seconds, and then Nana, I promise I'll let you go.
So again, the difference is that I am speaking to you. I want you to make your points and justify why you want to make mocking memes of Charlie Kirk's death.
Yes,
don't go on about anybody else's thing
I'm allowed
or
to
what a
bring
right winger said,
up.
because I'm talking to you. There you go. Done.
Okay.
Muting myself.
Yeah, let me respond. Thank you. Thank you. So this idea that Charlie Kirk, right? The fact that Charlie Kirk's movement knew about the Groypers, how they were coming up. Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, and in many people's opinion, is responsible for the rise of the Groypers. Just because he's not as right, he's right, but he's not alt-right, doesn't mean that he has no responsibility on the radicalization of young white boys ages, like now it's not even 14 to 24, it's like age 11 to 24. He's been doing this for a decade, going all around college campuses. Why would he not assume that people would become more radicalized, would find even more right-wing things? If you sow the seed, right, which is what he did, and you guys think what he's doing is what he did was fine. I respect his free speech. I think that what you did, going on college campuses, debating people, I had no issue with that. But to assert that he is not also responsible for the rise of no, he has a certain responsibility.
Just
as a
because you do something,
right.
but you're effectively saying
that doesn't mean I'm justifying. Mm-hmm.
No, first off, you're speculating for one. The things that he did that were a positive far outweigh people possibly
like getting right wingers to vote.
You want to know why there's a rise?
What did he do that was?
You want to know why there's a rise in Groypers? It's definitely 100% because of the anti-Israel rhetoric that's going on, because naturally some people are anti-Israel who are not going to be like Groypers.
Were Groypers not anti-black and anti-people?
Hold on. I'm telling you the rise. I'm telling you the rise of Groypers is because the anti-Israel rhetoric, because even though there's a lot of anti-Israel people that aren't necessarily a Groyper, of course not, people naturally would hear a clip from Nick Fuentes, maybe never even heard of him before, and he says something against Israel, and they're like, ooh, I like this guy, and some people are going to start watching him. It had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk at all.
So if Charlie Kirk,
hold on, so I let you guys.
So you know what I just know? Do you know what you just did, Nick?
Hold on.
Do you know what you just did, Nick?
I let you talk. I want
to ask Nick a question, Matt. I don't care.
Okay, ask him a question. Don't go on a rant.
Yeah. So why is it that you only can conceptualize the rise of Groypers through the lens of anti-Semitism, but not through the lens of anti-Blackness or anti-Hispanic or anti-any other marginalized group of people?
Of course I can.
Because the Groypers and what Nick Fuentes said outside of racial slurs, because Charlie Kirk didn't do that. They said a lot of the same thing about non-white, non-Jewish majorities or minorities. Yes, they did.
No, let me answer.
They did. And I can go through the list of things that they said that was
similar. You have to let me answer. You can't ask me a question, then I'm going to let Matt go because he's been silent, okay? So the reason I know this is because early on, after October 7th, but like the first half of the war, I would see Nick, who I know Nick Fuentes, his videos for a long time, way before October 7th, I'd start to see them pop up on like YouTube and TikTok and other social media platforms. And when it was about Israel, millions of views. His other stuff didn't even get traction. But of course I can see absolutely that. I can see that people start to follow him because of anti-black. Of course he's a racist. I don't know why I said was. He's still alive. Of course he's a racist. Nobody denies that. He's an awful human being. But the anti-Israel rhetoric definitely pushed him up a significant higher. Look at Candace Owens, for example, right? When she talks about Israel on X, millions of views. She started talking about like Bridget McCrone for like a week. It was kind of popular and people moved on. She'd get like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views. And then she starts talking about Israel again, millions of views. This is not deniable.
Let me respond now and let's see if she can respect my response now. Okay, great. So just mute yourself because I was able to do that. I don't know if you have the same level of impulse control that I do. Thank you. So it's really not complex. What Nick is talking about is right. He's not just trying to conceptualize the rise of Groypers in the lens of Israel. The majority of them are watching him now, and he's getting this level of traction because of the anti-Israel thing. Okay, the same thing with Candace Owens, anti-Israel thing. The same thing with Tucker Carlson, anti-Israel thing. And a lot of the young people are not moving towards Groypers necessarily because of, black people or whatever. All of those opinions that they have about black people and Hispanics or whatever the hell it is, they already had it in 2016 and 2017 when Nick was in North Carolina. They already had those beliefs. This rise is specifically because of Israel. Okay, and a lot of the Groypers, one of the main things they disagreed with Charlie Kirk upon was the whole Israel thing. This is the main thing that they had an issue with. So it's not us trying to conceptualize it only in one light. It's just the fact of the matter. Okay. Anyway, you shouldn't be trying to justify this, or even act as if Charlie Kirk's death was this thing you can mock, because again,
you can
even just mocking it, that's fine. Yeah, even just mocking it is amplifying the rhetoric against political assassinations and basically saying it's okay, because no one sees you post memes about people who are unalived and joke about them without you being happy.
But the right was doing that before.
It's like it's so hold on.
So Matt, I want to understand this narcissism. Hold on. Right?
I want to get a yes or no.
Can you tell me in all seriousness?
Let him ask a question.
Was not either political.
I want to ask
when Melissa Hortman was sniped down, you had
he was about to finish with the question. Let him ask the question.
I genuinely have just one question. I'm going to try to make it just one question.
And then you have to answer my question. Okay.
That's fine. You believe it is okay. You said you're against the political assassination of Charlie Kirk, yes or no?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you're against it, but you're also saying that you're going to make your profile picture Charlie Kirk being dead with some sort of meme. Yes?
Yes, I'm gonna do the meme of George Floyd with Charlie Kirk.
So you're gonna meme and mock his death.
Yes.
So you're saying, does that make hold on, genuinely, does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
does it make sense for someone to go around? Does it make sense for someone to go around and say, you know what, I am against what happened? Typically, when someone
why don't you have the same criticism?
Typically, when someone understands what they're talking about, they'll say, you know what, I'm against this political assassination, so I'm not going to mock it or make fun of it or anything like that. Anything that will make it seem okay or something to even joke about. When people genuinely are against something, that's what they say.
Are you going to let him?
Okay,
you don't have balls.
All right.
I don't have balls, or else you just say what you actually.
I am a woman. I don't.
Just say you don't condemn it. Just say you're proud of it happening.
No, I do condemn it.
Okay, all right.
Let me respond. You're not going to post.
No one says I condemn something.
You're allowed to say that you think it's
Stop. Okay, so Matt asked the question. Respond.
I already did. I just did. I said that he doesn't like my answer. Yeah, he asked me, so why is it okay to mock him even if you say that you're not okay with what happened to him? Because when he was alive, the things that he was doing, the things that he was
he never mocked anybody. He never put someone as their profile picture. He never did any of the things you said. I already debunked it.
He mocked. No,
he just proved you wrong. He never put anyone as their profile picture. He never mocked the death of anybody.
I actually
gave critical analysis critiques. That's it.
Stop. I actually don't know what the right answer is. What? Okay, stop. I actually don't know what the right answer is. So you're saying he mocked him. He's saying he did not. What did he do? Matt, just give her a second.
I'll tell you.
Right? No, hold on. Just I want to hear hers, and I want to hear.
Let me talk, and then I want to answer.
No. I'm giving you like 5 to 10 seconds. Just tell me exactly what he did. That was like mocking of George Floyd.
Specificity.
Yeah. So specifically, he made videos, right? Because a podcast videos when he was on college campuses, discussing other marginalized groups of people in ways that I thought were extremely.
He's asking about George Floyd.
I'm answering your question, Matt.
You see how she can't answer?
I just answered.
No, you didn't. My question is, how did he mock George Floyd?
Oh, George Floyd specifically? No, he said.
There you go.
No. Let me respond to that.
You see what I mean?
George.
No, you just answer the question now. No, hold on. Now it's my turn to respond.
Specifically,
you answer the question.
George Floyd is what I think he did that was inappropriate in regards to George Floyd is having that panel with Ben Shapiro and many Twitter comments where if you put in Charlie Kirk's name and George Floyd next to each other and see the things that he said, in my opinion, were giving aim or validity to the fact that Derek Chauvin should be removed from prison.
No, I debunked this earlier.
The video. No, you didn't. His thing said pardon Derek Chauvin. No, so if you're talking about it,
stop, because I looked that up when you said it earlier. That's not true. That is not true. I said the exact same thing when I have my live panels. I can show you what my live panel normally says. Like Israel is absolutely 100% the good guys, and people are like, "Oh, do you think they're perfect?" It is a title. It's exactly the same argument as someone who reads a headline of an article but doesn't read the article. For example, I don't want to talk about necessarily Israel-Palestine, but this is just an example I have because that's what I talk about. There was an Al Jazeera article like a month or two ago where it said this many people died at aid site. And then you look at the article and read it, the very first or second paragraph, it actually said it was like a mile away or almost a mile away from the aid site. But if you read just the headline, it said it was it said at aid site. And then in the article, it said, well, actually, it really wasn't. So you saying that, well, the title of the YouTube video said that, but they didn't say it, I think it's disingenuous.
Let me give a response now. Hold on.
No, I want to.
He asked you a question. It was only supposed to be 15 seconds long.
I'm talking to Nick.
No,
now.
I'm going to give my response. I'm going to give my response.
No. Verbatim.
It's only time for me to give my response. Holy crap, dude.
Right, Nana. So you responded, Nana, that he didn't really say something about George Floyd, and he did.
He made comments about George Floyd.
No, see, you couldn't name it specifically. Don't give it back now.
He called him. Okay, here's the list.
It's my turn to speak. Let me finish.
Okay. Well, hold on. If you have something new, I'm going to give you literally 10 seconds, Nana. Tell me what he said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
10 seconds.
He prompted the idea that the medical examiner who performed George Floyd's autopsy and declared him died was from an overdose and not from the knee on the neck. And
therefore, thank you. Critical analysis of his death.
And therefore, he implied that he should be
implied.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
That's it.
Now let me argue for the right.
I got it.
That's it. You couldn't do it.
I just did it.
Stop. I heard your answer. Let Matt respond.
Okay, sure. So she had a really long response. I'm going to try to get a decent response. Holy crap. So notice how she's like, oh, I'm gonna mock Charlie Kirk and put his like face on like George Floyd's picture or whatever.
Yeah, get over it.
Mock him and mock him and make fun of him because Charlie Kirk did the same. And then when you ask her, can you show me evidence or what specifically did he do to mock her? She can't give it to you. And she's like, oh, exactly what I said earlier. He gave a critical analysis of how he doesn't believe, George Floyd died due to asphyxiation because of Derek Chauvin. He believes that he died because of fentanyl. Okay. And that's a critical analysis. So there you go. That's a critical analysis of his death, not mocking. Saying someone didn't die because of this is not mocking, but you're trying to equivocate this because you're a liar. And what's funny is we have nearly 500 people here. When we asked you, how did Charlie Kirk mock them, you couldn't do it. And you had to like try to give 3 different answers to the question because you're stupid. You couldn't give an actual way that he mocked them because he never did. He gave a critical analysis of his death.
His critical analysis was rooted in falsehoods.
You want to mock him because you're proud of his death.
His critical analysis spread lies. His critical analysis
makes everything worse.
2 different medical examiners said that the reason he died was because
you can say he was wrong. You can say he's wrong, but that's not the argument, right? Hold on.
That's not mocking.
That's not the argument.
That was a conspiracy.
Stop. That's not the argument. One second, Matt. That is not the argument. I asked about mocking. If you're saying he was just saying things that were not correct medically, that's totally different. The equivalent would be not mocking Charlie's. One sec. The equivalent would be not mocking Charlie's death, but having a conspiracy that he didn't actually die from. I mean, it would be really hard to prove that because there's a video. But saying, oh, he didn't actually die from a bullet. It was something else. That would be the equivalent. But we're trying to do apples to apples. Mocking. Right. You haven't proven that he mocked him.
Okay, so my response to that, I'm talking to you, Nick. My response to that is because of these right-wing...
Because of this, implies this. Yeah,
you're telling him to shut the fuck up. So
this is implication nonsense now. It's like, it's implied.
What kind of debate is this, Nick? He's given 2 full minutes to rant, and I can only respond in 30 seconds.
I'm not giving anyone 2 minutes.
Okay, let me give me a chance. So if what I'm implicating or what I'm saying is if you create an atmosphere where you say things that are proven to be physically and proven to be physically untrue, that have been debunked by medical examiners twice, and you promote that to your millions of impressionable fans, and then those millions of impressionable fans then go and do memes, mock George Floyd, which many of his fans, you can look, many of the fans that have his photo in their people literally did this. Many of Charlie Kirk's fans who are mourning him, they would go and put their name on Twitter and type in George Floyd, and it would be a meme. So if you if you don't have to directly be the one to do it, but if you influence a masses to do something like that, and you know that your influence is doing something like that, no,
they would have done it regardless.
I don't have to know. It doesn't have to be.
They could be. No, hold on. They could be fans of Charlie Kirk, but maybe they were influenced by Candace Owens to do that, or Ben Shapiro.
It could be anyone. It could be anyone.
No idea.
I could say the same thing. If it happened to any of those men, I would say if it was Candace, if it was Matt Walsh, if it was any of these guys on the right, I would say the same thing. If I didn't know that he was part of this right-wing sphere that promoted false medical
my turn to respond.
About people,
you notice how it's long-winded. Okay, you gotta stop. No, you gotta stop.
And as a result, now when he admits his untimely demise,
I got it.
White
You gotta stop.
we can do the same thing. Period.
Got it. So notice again how you failed.
I didn't fail.
You did. I'm going to make it really simple. But listen, the thing is, Nick. I'm trying. I let her finish right there. I let her finish right there. If she interrupts me, I'm going to interrupt her when she goes, Nick. I'm just letting you know that right now.
I understand.
So this is the thing, right? He asked you for specificity, and you gave him this long-winded nonsense where it's like, well, he gave a critical analysis of his death, and he was objectively wrong. You believe he was objectively wrong about his death, and therefore, I believe the right-wingers on Twitter specifically are mocking him because of the analysis. Like, you're doing this long-winded thing because he never directly mocked Charlie Kirk. I mean, mocked George Floyd. And what's funny, I can just envision it myself right now. If any kid had a poster of a meme of George Floyd and brought it up to Charlie Kirk and asked him what he thought about it, he would say that's wrong. We shouldn't mock his death. Don't mock the death of anyone.
How do you know?
That's what Charlie Kirk. If I can finish, you absolute animal, hush your mouth.
Okay, you
know for a fact. Charlie Kirk would have condemned him right away.
How would you know he would say it was bad?
Because Charlie Kirk doesn't engage in that rhetoric because he's not an animal like yourself.
I have a list of all the anti-black things. Your mother is a dirty animal, and so is the person that you're supporting. He's no longer here.
Respond to what.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna respond in ad homs, I'm gonna respond that he's.
I don't want either of you to do ad homs.
He's a cuck to the white T-man.
All right,
long live white people, by the way.
I know that you love them, and do you love the white man that took Charlie out? Aw.
Long live white people.
Yeah, unfortunately, Charlie Kirk is a white person who's no longer here. Right?
Yeah, unfortunately. Long live Charlie Kirk's memory. He's done more than you will ever do.
No, he hasn't done anything for black people.
Okay, all right.
No, not for black. Charlie Kirk is
what you were saying.
Charlie Kirk is someone. No, you didn't understand what I said. Charlie Kirk promoted race blindness, not race consciousness.
He promoted anti-black.
You trying to say this weird. If I can just please finish now. If I can finish now.
He only highlighted things that black people benefited from.
Stop with the ad homs.
Thank you. Okay, I won't have to ad hom her if she can just act like a normal human being.
Both stop with the ad homs. I want to.
Okay, great. I'm going to stop with the ad homs. Let me just respond. Let me finish my plan here.
No, I'm going to respond.
So the interesting thing here is
anti-black things.
So if I can just please,
and I'm going to read all of
them. Okay.
One thing I want to know what you consider anti-black.
Yeah,
when Charlie Kirk said that black
people commit. Democratic immigration policy aimed at diminishing and decreasing white demographics in America.
Let him finish the question.
Clearly not all of us went through the evolutionary process.
All right, you guys, let him finish the question because I want to hear your answers, but I have to hear the question
I just have a response. I'm sick of only answering him. He needs to answer my questions.
You're going to do what
he hasn't answered a single one.
Stop. When you respond, the way to respond is to respond.
You know who's not laughing right now?
Stop.
I thought you were against that.
Hold on.
I am, but it's still funny.
The way to respond is to respond to his question, and then at the end, ask your own question in a civilized manner. He will do the same, and then answer your question, and then in a civilized manner.
How to teach a homo.
Nick, I have no problem doing that, but anytime he calls me an ad hominem,
my turn.
Period. That's just I don't let spoons dictate anything to me.
My turn, doggy.
All right, okay. You know who?
So here it is. Are you ready?
You know who's 6 feet under with a dog right now? Do you know who has a bullet through their body right now on live TV?
All right, stop. Matt, finish your question.
I'm an absolute idiot.
You're so triggered.
You can just insult me. I'm right here, you know? I'm right here.
No, I'm going to insult whoever I want.
You have to be a coward to insult someone who's dead, not insult someone who's talking right in front of you. I'm insulting.
All right. Stop. Okay, let Matt ask his question. And then Nana, I want you to answer that question. Matt, go ahead.
I'm almost forgetting my question. Okay. It's really simple, Nana. Okay. It's really simple. I forgot my question actually, because she just made me forget my question. So
I guess it wasn't
by the way, Nick, do you remember?
Nana, stop.
Nick, do you remember what my question was even?
You said, I don't know, you only got like 3 words in before she interrupted you.
I couldn't even remember my question.
This is why this is why it's hard.
Bonnie in the comments, and guess who on the live? Charlie.
Stop. Who cares? Stop talking. I'm trying to remember.
We all forget. It is what it is.
Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. Nana, go ahead. I think you guys are talking about.
I have a list.
Hold on, let me just finish. I think you guys are talking about things that Charlie Kirk. Oh, that's right. Matt's question was, what do you consider anti-black? And then you interrupted him. I don't know.
Yes, and here's the list. I have a list of things that I think are anti-black.
Give me the top 3 right now.
Sure. The Great Replacement rhetoric. He used the idea that democratic immigration policies are aimed at diminishing and decreasing white demographics in America, and specifically, and suggested that there is an ongoing replacement of white populations. That would imply multiple.
That's good. That's good right there. That's good right there. You respond to that.
That's one. I have 2 more.
That's good. No, that's good. I want to respond to 1.
No, I want
Doggy, I'm going to respond to 1.
No, I'm going to make a caveat.
Never promoted that theory. I know exactly what you said about that,
As a Christian,
you're a lying little
nationalist, he should
You're
care
a
about
lying
Christian.
little doggy. That's not what he said.
You're a lying little.
He said that Democrats want more illegals to come in so that those illegals could vote Democrat for them. That's what he's promoted. He never promoted great replacement. You're a liar. You're a dirty little liar.
Stop.
Dirty little liar.
Stop. Okay.
I'll provide the quote.
The first thing. Okay, so the first one. Let us go one at a time because it's going to be a lot. So the first one.
I want to respond to that one.
I want to give a caveat.
One sec. So great replacement theory, and yes, I know what that is. And can you just provide one quote that proves it from Charlie, not insinuating, not implying? I want direct, and then let Matt respond.
Yes. Hold from ChatGPT.
I have the literal quote. Here's the literal quote. So what? Like that's how you get quotes from, and then
did you actually pull it from ChatGPT?
I already had a list from.
Oh my God, she actually did pull it from ChatGPT.
And you can find.
All right, Matt.
Can I say
no, Nick, I'm not going to accept ChatGPT quotes. Come on, that's ridiculous.
No, you don't have a choice. You can Google it yourself.
I would think that you care enough to actually go hear what he says or pull it from a news article. You actually went on ChatGPT.
Do you know what's really funny? Do you know what's funnier than laughing like that? Do you know who's not laughing right now?
Oh my God, that is actually funny.
Do you know who's never going to laugh again in this lifetime?
Nana actually never fails to make herself look stupid.
I have the direct quote, and I can get you the source.
You're a homo habilis.
And I can get you the exact source.
Holy crap, dude. I guess something from an article, not ChatGPT.
So if it's on ChatGPT, that means that it's not real. You're so dumb. He said it on March 1st, 2024. It's out of the Guardian.
Goodness.
All right, you guys. All right.
This is what he said.
Makes her pull from an actual source.
Stop.
He's so triggered.
Stop. Both guys, mute. Just mute. All right. So let her provide the quote for now. I think it's funny that she did admit that it's from ChatGPT, but fine, let her provide it, and we will go from there to see if it's real or not, and I'll let you respond, Matt. So what is the quote? After the quote, I'm cutting you off.
Okay. The quote is from The Guardian, which is where ChatGPT gave me, and I found the literal quote from The Guardian. The Great Replacement, this is the quote, quote, "The Great Replacement strategy, which is well underway every single day on our southern border, is a strategy to replace white rural America with something different, something non-white." The literal quote, okay? Go ahead, explain.
Hold on, real quick. Something non-white is what you said?
No. Something different. I'm sorry. I said something. Hang on. A strategy to replace the white rural America with something different. End quote. And then I'm saying something non-white. That's what he's implying. He literally said white rural. I want to be very clear. The quote and.
By the way, I want you to double check that, Nick, because I can't right now.
And that is in The Guardian.
But it's fine.
And then I have a few more.
What is the title of the Guardian article?
Sure. It is called. Charlie Kirk, in his own words, prowling blacks and the Great Replacement theory. I'm going to
notice how he doesn't mention blacks once, which is your claim. But
prowling blacks. No, he says prowling blacks, dummy. He literally said it. No, they're quoting
nothing to do with Great Replacement. That's not Great Replacement, by the way.
Is it this right here?
Oh, no, this one.
No, wrong one. That's not even Great Replacement.
Prowling, but this is from the article. You can look at the article and find the quote. Yep.
It's from The Guardian.
Great Replacement. Oh, that's why I typed it in wrong.
Okay. The quote is crazy.
Double check it. No, he'll check it. It's fine. No, shut up. Just let him respond.
That's for you.
Why can't I find it?
That's for you, okay, Pookie?
You're actually weird. I mean, that's next level weird stuff right there.
Is it? You should be telling that to those who made him of George Floyd, but you haven't.
You really think they're equal people? Like that's the thing you're failing to understand.
I'm mocking someone that you don't
some
respect.
Random gangbanger idiot with a 55 IQ who never accomplished a thing in his life.
I think that socially,
Charlie probably had like
is
3
a horrible
words
political figure. I think that he is a
you're absolutely. And by the way, you're like, I don't think he was a good person.
Terrorist.
I don't think George Floyd was a good person.
I think that Charlie Kirk was a stochastic terrorist. Yes.
That's wild.
Yes, I do.
So weird.
Did you find it?
When I type it, it's so weird. Like when I type in the exact, I know it's kind of hard to see, like the exact same words.
This is the article. I'm not making it up.
No, I believe you. It's just fucking weird. Whatever. Irish Times has the exact same title, so I'm just gonna read it and see if the quote's in there.
Okay, great.
Yeah, read it. Here's the on race. Here's a list. They did a whole list of things that are inflammatory. You can say that they're not.
Let me go to my computer. Hopefully my connection doesn't drop. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, here's a list. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope.
Oh yeah, I can debunk that one as well.
So my whole thing is before you debunk that.
All of them. Hold on. Relax.
Do you know that the overwhelming majority of suicide by pilot are by white men?
Relax, because this is when you start ranting.
Scared of a?
What's the title?
The number one, the last suicide by pilot. That one died.
What's the title? No. Shut up. What's the title?
No, you don't tell me to shut up. The last suicide by pilot was a white man.
No. Stop. No. Let's start with the great replacement theory.
Okay. Let's stick with that one.
One thing at a time. Like she's trying that she doesn't want specificity. This is her kryptonite. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I found it. I found it really quick. Okay, so let me respond to every single one.
You find a way to justify anything that
Let me go around and respond.
You don't care about impact.
Dude, let me respond. So there's only one quote on race. I'm trying to respond. I have them, Nick. I have them all right here. Nick, I have them all right here. They're right here. So I'm going to respond uninterrupted to every single one. Do you want me to go every single one or one at a time? Which one?
One at a time. I want to respond to each one.
Okay, great. One at a time. Let's do it. So I'm going to go only the ones that are listed in race because you mentioned anti-black. So if I see a black pilot, I'm going to shut your dirty animalistic mouth when I'm talking, okay?
No, you shut your stupid cup right
now. If it's so bad, let me read it.
That's why
it's so bad. Let me read it, animal.
Nah.
If it's so bad, let me read it. If it's so bad, let me read it, animal.
Stop.
Okay, great. If it's so bad, let me read it. So I know the context behind all of these. So one, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, I hope he's qualified. Okay. Boy, I hope he's qualified. I remember this quote specifically, and there is context around this quote because this is what they do. They take the quote and don't give any context to it. So the context around this quote is that he was referencing DEI. What's it called? United Airlines, okay? I'm pretty sure in 2024 or 2023, openly made an announcement where they were like, by 2030, 50% of our pilots are going to be black or they're going to be a person of color. And so he was responding to this. So he was like, oh, okay, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna say, boy, I hope he's qualified because of the DEI that United Airlines specifically announced. So that's not racist. That's what I would have said as well.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, if you can just stop. Hurry
up. I want to respond. You just said
you're so upset. You're so upset. Hold on, let me find the one you said because there's context behind all of these.
You're the most upset. Okay, buddy.
I know you're mad, animal. I know you're mad.
So Nick,
you dirty little animal.
Nick, he said we were going to go one by one. Thank you.
You also mentioned ruler America.
Here's the implication. Here's the implications, right? No. If this was said about white men, right? Because the
you lied about the great replacement quote.
Let me respond, and then we can talk about the replacement.
Hold on.
Just said that we were going to go one by one. Nick, can you control this cuck? Can you please put a muzzle on it? Or I'm just going to speak over him. I'm going to speak over him. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of something that happened. I'm going to give you an example of something that happened, Nick.
Are you going to respond to the quote
if this is the type of rhetoric, if Charlie Kirk feels comfortable saying these things, that he would be scared that they were qualified, right? I looked up the most recent, and to be fair, it is true that
30%.
the overwhelming majority of pilots are white men, right? But are you aware that they're disproportionately represented? If he's so scared of getting on a plane with a black pilot, I'm scared of getting on a plane with a white pilot because they're the ones that are most likely to do suicide by pilot. Is there any black? Yes.
There's actually no evidence. Well, one, there's no evidence of that, but that's besides the point anyway. That's besides the point anyway. That's not even the point. The point is whether or not it's racist.
There's only been one pilot that hijacked a plane that was black. All of the rest of them outside of 9/11, outside of 9/11 in the United States, that purposely crashed a plane.
Hold on, how many were Arab?
Unalive, everyone, was a white men. So as a black woman, I'm wondering, should I be scared? Should I be scared every time I get on a plane with a white pilot that he's going to crash it, he's going to kill us?
How many Arabs? How many were Arab? How many were Arab?
Stupid things like that.
Okay, how many? Yes, answer
that. How many were Arab?
I don't. The overwhelming majority of them were white.
Yeah, the overwhelming majority have been Arab. The overwhelming majority of airline hijackers have been Arab. So you've actually fucked yourself so unbelievably bad. But guess what? You fucked yourself, but guess what? We're not going to let you run. We're not going to let you run. It's funny how you're trying to mention like suicide or hijackings. The majority of them have been Arab.
Overwhelming. You have no criticism for this,
like,
dude?
destroyed yourself. The overwhelming majority of them have been Arab.
How did I destroy myself?
Back to the. Hold on.
You're coping.
Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Okay? Just relax yourself. So, I'm going to read from this because I'm going to be lazy just like you are. You were reading from ChatGPT. I'm going to read AR overview, okay? 50% diversity. United Aviate Academy, okay? It's pilot training school. Target, set it.
I be scared of white pilots? Why hasn't George Floyd, Charlie Kirk said that?
Hush your dirty animalistic mouth. For a second.
Malcoon, I need you to respond why this is acceptable.
Relax.
Why your leader, why your unalived leader who was unalived by a white man.
All right. I want to stay on topic. Just let Matt respond to what you said because this is a different topic.
Sure. Because you're trying to change the topic on. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna be calmer for you. I'm gonna be calmer for you for just a second.
All right, good boy.
The topic isn't how many were white or black or Arab. The majority of them have been Arab, but it's besides the point. Let's get to the point.
Prove it. No, you're a liar. The majority of them have been white.
Shut up!
The majority of them have been white.
You animal. Homo habilis. Hold on. You know what? Hold on. Give me a second, man. Hold on. So what you're failing to understand is that you're Homo habilis. I went through evolution. You're Homo habilis. We all went through evolution.
Matt, get back to the point.
Great.
Hijackers.
All right, listen. So they set a target to train 5,000 new pilots by 2030, with at least 50% being women or people of color. So this is what he was responding to. That was what he was responding to. This is why he specifically had this quote of the one in reference to I hope he's qualified. Okay? And if you play the whole thing, he talks about the set of DEI in reference to that policy. I don't want to change the subject, but if you really want to get into the airline jackers, the majority of them have been Arab. Let's not do that, honey, okay? Let's not do that, honey. The majority of them have been Arab.
This is your leader. This is you. This is your leader. This is you. So the majority of them have been...
Is that the best that you have?
No, I have way more offensive ones.
Is that all you got? Because you're losing?
You want to see them? Okay, give me a second.
Let's go on the ones on Islam. America has freedom of religion, of course, but we should be frank. Large, dedicated Islamic areas are a threat to America. Yes, you're right.
My argument is
you're right, Charlie Kirk. You're right on this one.
Excuse me. If Charlie
Kirk rise of Islam on the show to a great amount of backlash. We don't care. That's what we're going to do. As we said, Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. True, Charlie Kirk. Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. Absolutely true. Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America.
Me as a black woman, I am more scared of that, okay? Why did he not bring this up? If his argument is that he's scared that black people are underqualified, is he not scared that the qualified white men are going through mental psychosis?
So you're also just failing to understand total context. So you're trying to change...
For 4 minutes.
So the conversation...
No, this has nothing to do with... No, this has nothing...
What I'm trying to do
this has nothing to do with the conversation.
All right, everyone, stop.
He doesn't criticize...
We're going to ChatGPT our way out of everything.
Hold on. I should be doing better. I'm trying to let you guys have a little bit of freedom. Stop. Trying to let you guys have a little bit of freedom, but if you're going to just completely deflect to like a brand new article, it's There's no point to it. I want this conversation.
Yeah, don't run. She's trying to run.
I'm never running. I'll do this all night with you, Matt. I will stay here for as long as you
want. You're not getting anywhere, though.
My little homo habilis.
You got cucked to Charlie Kirk, sweetie. You got cucked. You suck the taint of the.
Stop stuttering. Stop stuttering. Hey, Neanderthal is better than homo habilis.
Stop it. Stop. Let's get back to the conversation. No, stop. No, stop. Let's get back to the conversation. So the conversation is about Charlie Kirk's specific quotes. You brought up one. Should have already been like 10 quotes down. We're still on the first one. Okay, so Matt brought up the context of that quote. Matt, you have red bars. Get better to the get some better internet real quick. And yes, he responded and added context to that. So let's go back to let's go to the next quote, or say why he's wrong about the context.
Yeah, so the context is, I have no issue with him bringing up that context. The issue that I have is what is omitted. If you're going, I already explained this multiple times. He's just deflecting. You're saying I'm deflecting. If you're going to say that because of DEI, you are afraid of potential flight crashes, which by the way has not happened, right?
Unqualified pilots?
Unqualified pilots, unqualified black pilots, right? You would have to
notice how he didn't say, I think they're going to be hijackers.
You would have to
how he
talk
didn't
about
say that. He just said, I believe they're going to be unqualified. Yep. Unqualified.
Why black pilots were unqualified?
That's all he said.
They were disproportionate. The reason they put in DUI to begin with is so that black pilots who were systemically not getting hired, not because they weren't good enough, but because they were because they were kept out for racial reasons,
like dumb.
Which is what DEI was trying to prevent.
Homo habilis. We're in the 21st century.
Nick, can you control your fucking dog? Can you control this cuck like Robinson?
Little homo habilis.
Can you control this dog like Robinson?
By the way, what is your homo habilis language?
Okay, and Charlie is just like the homo habilis.
What do you speak in homo habilis?
Yeah,
I'm right here. Why are you talking about Charlie? I am right. You know how much of a coward you have to be to talk about dead people who can't respond to you? I'm right here.
I was trying to explain.
I'm right here.
And you didn't
want to hear it. I'm right here.
I was trying to explain and you didn't want to hear it. My argument. Can I speak directly to you for 2 minutes? Can I speak directly?
No. I want showtime. Honestly, I don't like doing it, but
yeah. Put the coon away for a second.
I don't even know how it works. Stop. How do I do this? I really actually don't know how it works. Oh my gosh.
That's fine. So again, the homo habilis, I mean, we were obviously talking about the quote, and she ran away from the quote, and she's going on to one white guy who was a hijacker. Again, Charlie Kirk was specifically talking about unqualified pilots. He didn't say anything about, I think the black pilot is going to be a hijacker. He said he believes they're going to be unqualified because when you set a status quo of 30% of them are going to be black or people of color by this year, then I'm going to assume, even myself as a black guy, that we're going to see more unqualified black people of color, not because they're just because of their skin color, but because of the status quo being set, because of the lowering of standards, so on and so forth. I don't want to be too long, only for about a minute. That's my response. And let's hope that she doesn't change and go on to something else. That's it. Yeah.
All right, great. I'll try to figure out how to make it a minute, but just take a minute.
Yeah, so the issue I have, again, for the millionth time is you are allowed to have that issue, but you have to address two things. Why DEI was instituted in the first place. It was instituted because qualified black pilots were not being hired because of racism. That is the argument, and they were able to prove that. They were able to show in documentation, and when you go and they explain to you this is why we do DEI, is because before the DEI was instituted, qualified black pilots who have to meet the exact same requirements, have to fly 3,000, 4,000 hours or whatever it is that the requirements are, have to be met, were not being hired even after they met that threshold because they couldn't prove why it wasn't. But when they used DEI, it was, these people are, if they did blind hiring, these people were just not being instituted, women, black people, because of either them being a woman or them being a minority. That is the argument for DEI. It wasn't because they were lowering the standards. Prove that they were lowering the standards because they said it's projected that there's going to be a rise in black.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so real quick, I hear you guys, hold on one sec. I hear you guys about Erika Kirk. Stop. I have Erika Kirk's thing up, so once it starts speaking, I will play it. You guys can continue to argue after, but I do want to hear what Erika Kirk has to say, which looks like that might be soon. But anyways, okay, Matt, go ahead. Hold on, let me go back to
So it's funny how like she's on an article about one white guy who did a hijacking,
a commercial,
or not even necessarily a hijacking, but
he suspended people in the air.
Yeah, relax. Yeah. So one guy who obviously, unalived everybody basically with a suicide plane crash or whatever. When we're having a discussion about one specific quote in DEI and lowering of standards, so she's basically off of the conversation we're even talking about right now, all over the place, not even focusing. So I hope she can focus on what we're actually discussing. And again, you don't have any evidence that the black pilots weren't being hired because they were black or they had more qualifications but weren't being hired. You're just making that up on the spot. You tend to make stuff up on the spot, and you're just making up a thing right on the spot. So that's just you being you. And yeah, Nick, I think I want to hear what Erika Kirk has to say. So let's definitely get that in. You're not really smart, so you can't really like give people arguments, and you're up random articles.
Okay, so, real quick, go fix your internet a little bit.
Articles that one is even discussing right now. That's weird.
Red bars, Matt. Go fix the internet. But once she starts speaking, you guys can keep going after if you want to stay. But I'm going to drop both of you guys.
So the argument that I'm making, and then I'm going to see if I can find a journal article. But the argument I'm making is if Charlie Kirk is going to highlight black pilots unaliving people, right? Then I want him to also highlight when people of his ilk, white people, other non-blacks, right? Because he's talking about black people, so I'm allowed to talk about white people.
That wasn't even American.
When they do act, it doesn't matter.
Germany.
I can find you some in the United States. He's still a white man because you could be a black pilot in freaking Rome or Italy. It doesn't matter. So this man was suspended in the air. Everybody on that plane, knew for 6 minutes that they were going to die. That is what this man did because his girlfriend broke up with him. He wrote a manifesto. So why isn't Charlie Kirk? Why didn't he? Because he's dead. Why didn't he bring these types of things up when he was alive? He only talks about black. He would never criticize white men for these types of things. Should I be scared of getting on a plane with a white man if his girlfriend breaks up with him that he might crash? No, I would never say that.
So I don't know why you're bringing up something from Germany and you're like, I don't think Charlie Kirk even heard about that case, by the way.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think Charlie Kirk even knew about that case. You're bringing up some guy. Hold on. I'm getting my response in now. That's why you're being muted, because I'm going to get my response in now. Charlie Kirk didn't even know the guy, and not a lot of Americans, like the average American, probably doesn't even know about that hijacking story. So I don't know what the heck you're even talking about. The only thing Charlie Kirk said was that if you set a status quo out there for lowering standards so black and minority and women can get in, then you're likely going to be more in danger, because we're talking about someone who's flying a plane. I want them to be as qualified as humanly possible. So Charlie Kirk's quote makes absolute sense. And your response to that is some person in Germany who Charlie Kirk never even heard of and never even saw did something. Therefore, Charlie Kirk should have brought it up. No, he was just talking about the lowering of standards. Not to mention, he didn't say that black pilots would hijack the plane, would do, a suicide, what's called plane crash. He didn't say any of those things, but you're bringing it up because some white guy in Germany did it. Like, you're just such a stupid homo habilis, okay?
Stop.
Go through evolution.
And he is extinct with the homo habilis.
No, stop with that homonym. Stop.
He's extinct with them, okay? So as I was saying, the point is not that...
I insulted you. You can just insult me back.
I can insult you.
Right here. You can just insult me.
Stop. Okay, no, go ahead.
Okay, so the point I'm making for the millionth time is not that he brought that up again. Can you provide any empirical proof that the overwhelming majority, because you said, I just pulled something out of my ass. Can you provide any empirical proof that the overwhelming majority of hijackers domestically are Arabs? Since you said that
not domestically, because you don't care about domestically, remember?
Domestically,
you're kicking your can down the road.
You can't. They're white men. And
the majority of Arabs are not even.
I'll find you the American.
Okay, real quick. That's disingenuous. That's disingenuous because Arabs domestically are a tiny minority. So
right, that's exactly what I just said.
Based on
he doesn't understand per capita, by the way, because again, Nick, he isn't smart. He's a dummy.
I should be less scared of black pilots because there's such a small percentage of the pilots. I should be more scared of white pilots. They're overrepresented in pilots. That doesn't make sense to you.
Stop.
Every time I get on a plane, I'm going to be scared of the white pilots from now on, and in honor of Charlie Kirk.
That's fine. Go ahead.
All right. Real quick, she's on. Hold on. You guys can stay, and I'll let you right back up. I just want to hear her first. How do I Let me flip my camera.
My name is Erika Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days. And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strive, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend and a mentor. I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from this studio, this chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children, and he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. He was such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life. And over, he would tell all these young people to come and find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted you all to experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful. Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn. He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can. The movement's not going anywhere, and it will only grow stronger when you join it. If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room, every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up right now for that because we would love to see you. I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. Bring your kids, bring your family. But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one. A Bible-believing church. Our battle is not simply a political one. Above all, it is spiritual. It is spiritual. The spiritual warfare is palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel. Nobody. Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country, this country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. I don't remember the last time I slept. I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby. Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen. I promise. Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strived to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I missed you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. And I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness, Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do, baby. Making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day. Thank you all again who love my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them. God bless you all. And may God bless America.
Okay. So I am, one, not going to show my face right now, and 2, I am not bringing up, I'm going to end the live now. I will go live later. I really don't want to hear, I don't want to hear any mocking right now, anything like that. Matt, thank you so much for coming up. I will go live later, you guys. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break. I'll go live again when I normally do, around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 to 8:30. So I'm just going to, yeah. All right. Love you guys, and thank you so much. I'll see you guys later.